Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to yet another Monday Motivation video here at Feel Good Digital Media. I am your host, Irvin Ramirez, and today I will be tackling one of life's greatest challenges, and that is getting up early. You know, most people do not like getting up early. I happen to be a morning person. I enjoy waking up early in the morning, but even as a morning person, I still struggle to want to get up early every day. So let alone for those people that hate mornings. So today I want to give you 5 strategies on how to better set yourself up to actually get up early. For whatever reason you might want that to be, whether it is to get your day started early, get a workout in, read a little bit, whatever that may be. I hope that these strategies can help you out, and I will give you those strategies right after this. So what's up, y'all? Welcome back. Like I said, thank you for being here. I'm just trying to give a couple strategies on how to wake up early, because I know that is something that most people want to get better at. You know, whether it's from going from waking up at 9 to waking up at 8 or 7 or 6 or 5 a.m. Like today I'll give you 5 strategies to wake up at 5 a.m. And the only reason I say that is because that's when I get up when I can. I don't always succeed. I don't. But when I can, I like to wake up at 5 a.m. And you might say to yourself, that's a lot earlier than I want to get up, and that's fine. These strategies aren't for you to just wake up at 5, just to wake up earlier than you're already waking up. So, but the 5 strategies for waking up at 5 a.m. sounded a lot catchier. A lot of times I work at 5:45 in the morning, so me waking up at 5 isn't that weird, and it kind of had me in a good rhythm. But it's definitely been a lot harder when I don't have to work at 5:45 in the morning. So here's 5 strategies that have kind of helped me maintain that schedule, or at least attempt to keep that schedule. So strategy number 1, this one might be a little controversial to most of you, but try to only have one alarm set. I know, it's crazy, but a lot of people will be like, oh, I have to have 2, 3, 4, 5 alarms just in case the first one doesn't go through. But, we all know we only wake up to one alarm. And when you set more alarms up, you're just allowing yourself to turn the first one off, and eventually you can just keep delaying when you wake up. Because subconsciously you know that the last one you have set is the last one you can actually get up to, and you'll just lean towards waking up at that one, and you won't wake up to your earlier ones. If you only have one alarm set, and then you could subconsciously kind of train yourself to only rely on that alarm to get up. So if you can, try to limit the amount of alarms they have. I know some people have like 20 alarms. Try to cut it down to 10. You have 10, cut it down to 5. If you have 5, cut it down to 2. If you have 2 or 3, try to only have 1. That gives you less wiggle room to try to get around waking up early, right? So tip number 1, only set 1 alarm. Alright, tip number 2 is a pretty simple one, and I'm sure some of you have already heard about this, but that is place your alarm far enough away from you that makes you get up to go turn it off. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, I won't be able to hear it. It's like we all know the sound of our alarm well enough that we'll probably still be able to hear it, even if it's a few feet away compared to maybe just right under our pillow if it's your phone, right? So try to set it up in your room. It doesn't have to be 15 feet across the room, right? Maybe just a couple feet, but make you at least sit up on your bed, or at least make you take a few steps off of your bed, because we all say, or at least I think when I talk to people and that they want to get up early, they say, well, once I'm out of bed, like I can keep myself out of bed, but it's just the initial moving out of bed, kind of rolling out, and then just actually standing up. Well, if you place your alarm far enough away from you and force yourself to get up because to turn it off, then that kind of helps with that. It kind of already gets you up, and then you will be a lot more likely to just start off your day. And it may not always work out that way, but you'll definitely increase your chance of actually getting up early. So like I said, tip number 2 is set your alarm far away. So tip number 3 It's probably my favorite tip, and it kind of means the most to me. So, and I got these off different videos that I've watched, whether it be Tom Bilyeu or Jay Shetty, things like that. People like that. They talk about core values, and I've kind of picked up core values from a lot of people, but they kind of label their alarm, and that's what I do. A lot of people put names on their alarms, so it'd be like, hey, wake up, or like, hey, you really need to wake up, or hey, you're going to be late for sure now on their alarms, and, that's all great, but for me, kind of the way I personalize my one alarm that I have set is I put the 5 core values that I want to embody, right? And to me, that means a little bit more. To me, if I press off and just go back to bed, that's me not living up to the core values that I want to live up to, right? And that's just, and nobody's losing but myself. And that kind of puts a little more pressure and a little more incentive really for myself to get up early, because I want to live up to those things, right? So, and I can pull them up real quick if, so I can tell you guys what they are, and I have it set. Well, let's see if I can. So what I have it labeled as is the 5 core values that I really want to embody, which are work ethic, humility, seeker, gratitude, and server. And those 5 core values mean something to me. And sorry about that. And I know what they mean to me, right? Like I've shared that with a few people. I've shared that in other videos of mine during the thought-provoking conversation series and the Mindcation. So if you want to check those out, the playlist will be at the end of the video, or there might be a link up here somewhere for those as well. But that alarm, it means a little bit more to me. So what I recommend to you, it doesn't have to be core values, but try to maybe have a quote, have something that kind of has a little more value to you than just an alarm, to kind of help you have a little more of a reason to want to get up early. So tip number 3 is label your alarm. All right. Tip number 4 is to have a reason to get up, and it kind of goes along with number 3, but this one's a little more like hands-on. And by what I mean by having a reason is that have a reason to get up early. If you're just getting up early because you want to say that you get up early, you won't actually keep that habit, right? Like you're just kind of doing it for show, and like what's the point in that, right? If your body knows that you're just kind of BSing it and that you're not even being truthful to yourself, and they're just getting up for show, then it's not going to let you wake up early. But try to have an actual reason to why you get up early. Maybe you do want to work out, right? Like maybe you want to work out to lose some weight. That's a good reason to want to get up early. Maybe you want a little more time to yourself, a little more time to be able to work on yourself, and you think waking up early will help. That's another good reason. Number 3, maybe you feel like your day's too hectic, you don't have enough time, so if you wake up a little earlier, you might be able to get a head start. Boom. Another good reason. Try to find these reasons each day or throughout the week that you can focus on to motivate you and to drive you to want to get up early, right? Because if you can get yourself excited to get up early, then you already won. The battle's won, like you'll be fine. But if you're just waking up early to say you wake up early, like you won't be able to keep that going. So tip number 4 is have a reason to get up early. Sweet, so we're almost there. I'm almost going to give you tip number 5, but like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're enjoying the content and you like what you hear, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It will honestly help my channel out so much, and it will help me keep these videos and keep making all this content for you guys. So now it's time for me to give you the 5th tip. And tip number 5 is take small steps. And this really goes along with my first video from last week. If you haven't watched that, make sure to check that out. But again, just take small steps. Some people try to just dive right into everything, and then they can't keep that habit going. And that's the issue, right? You bite more than you can chew. So don't go from, hey, I normally wake up at 9, 10 a.m. I'm going to try to wake up at 5 a.m. every day now. It's like that's probably you might be able to do it 1, maybe 2 days, but you won't be able to achieve that, for a long period of time. And well, maybe you can, but for most people, that's too much, too fast. So what I recommend is if you normally wake up at 10 or 9 a.m., try to wake up at 8. Right? Like just try to wake up an hour earlier than you normally would. If you wake up at 8, 7, if 7, 6, you can do the math, you can figure it out. But just take small steps, Maybe start with just a half hour earlier or an hour earlier than what you normally do, and then progressively build your way up to what time you really want to try to wake up to. But don't try to go all in right away. Ease yourself in and really allow your body to adjust, because adjusting to a new sleeping schedule and getting less sleep than you normally would takes a little bit of time to get used to. And maybe if you're used to going to bed at 1 a.m. and you wake up at 10, if you try to wake up at 5, your body will not know what to do with only 4 hours of sleep. So you got to wait for your body to adjust to kind of move that sleep schedule back to maybe you can wake up at 6 or 5 a.m. but you go to bed at 10, so you have the amount of sleep that you need. It takes time to build habits. Don't think that, you kind of have to break through that 21-day barrier and to really establish that habit, and, just take it one small step at a time. So like I said, step number 5, or really tip number 5, is take small steps. Awesome. So I hope you were able to learn something from those strategies. Please comment down below what you learned from those tips, or if you're going to take any of those tips away, or if you have any tips of yourself that you want to share with me, I'd love to. Like I said, I'm a morning person, but I still struggle with getting up early all the time. So any tips that you guys have for me, I would greatly appreciate that as well. Thank you for tuning in this week. I hope to see you all again next week. And that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful week. I hope you stay motivated. Check out the last video if you haven't already. And be on the lookout next Monday for yet another Monday Motivation. Como que no fue, si yo recuerdo que fue ayer.